Okay, here we go. Now, a bit of adjustment. Okay. Now, let's go. Frog and Toad are friends. By Arnold. By Arnold Lobel. I have to say, this is the testing of a story's summary. Now, let us begin. Frog and Toad. For Barbara Borak. Spring. Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the front door. There was no answer.
Toad! Toad! Shouted Frog. Wake up, it's spring. Alrighty. This is a practice, guys. Practice 1, 2, 3 voice summary. Alrighty. So, today, sorry for the jokes, everyone. This is not a late April Fool's joke. It's more so me just testing the waters out. I do gotta practice a bit of voice reading because I will have to voice narrate some things later on. So, without further ado, I'm the Kumo Sensei, and today we're going to be reading Frog and Toad. And this is more so of a voice practice, I guess. Actually, let's change the title for that. Story voice narration practice. Because this is more so of a warm-up for stage acting. But I don't think anyone was... I really don't think anyone will see this, so...
Let us begin. Alrighty.
We gotta adjust the mic here for a second, everyone. Alright. Now that this is all adjusted, we are going to be reading Frog and Toad Are Friends by Arnold Lobel. And I have to say, I will transition between voices, so you're going to hear some narrating voice and my voice and a little bit of voice acting here and there. And essentially what I'm going to do is practice a bit of voice narration. So, without further ado, everyone, this is more so of a laid-back stream. Nothing too serious. If you want to leave, feel free to leave, because this is going to be kind of boring. That's my disclaimer. So let's go. Alrighty.
Frog and Toad Are Friends
By Arnold Lobel. For Barbara Borak. Spring.
Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the front door. There was no answer.
Toad! Toad! Shouted Frog. Wake up! It is spring!
Blah,
said a voice from inside the house. Toad! Toad! My interpretation of Toad is so different nowadays. It changes. It goes from being a crook type voice to being a
leave me alone
type voice. I keep thinking it's reptilian for some reason. But I think we should just read it on a normal voice for starters. Toad! Toad! Shouted Frog. Wake up! It is spring!
Blah,
said a voice from inside the house. Toad! Toad! cried Frog. Just knocking on the door like that. Oh my gosh. The sun is shining. The snow is melting. Wake up. I am not here, said the voice.
Frog walked into the house. It was dark. All the shutters were closed.
Toad, where are you? Called Frog.
Go away,
said the voice from a corner of the room.
Toad was lying in bed. He had pulled all the covers over his head. Frog.
That's so adorable. Sorry, I love Frog and Toad.
Frog pushed Toad out of bed. He pushed him out of the house and onto the front porch. Toad blinked in the bright sun.
Help! said Toad. I cannot see anything. Don't be silly, said Frog. This is just so goofy, man. I love doing this. Hold on, guys. What you see is the clear, warm light of April, and it means that we can begin a whole new year together, Toad.
Think of it, said Frog.
We will gosh. Just getting goofy. Just goofing. That is definitely going to be the title, guys. We're just goofing around. We will skip through the meadows and run through the woods and swim in the river. In the evenings, we will sit right here on this front porch and count the stars. Okay, so this is actually a 2-page panel. Give me a second. I don't know why it's kind of like this, everyone. Hold up. Sorry, I'm gonna actually fix this panel real quick. Alrighty. I guess this is the way we go at it. So that's how you're supposed to read it. Alright, guys. We're back in business. You can count them, Frog, said Toad. I would be too tired. I am going back to bed.
And then Toad went back into the house. He got into the bed and pulled the covers over his head again.
But Toad, cried Frog, you will miss all the fun. Listen, Frog, said Toad. How long have I been asleep? God, I just love goofing around at this point. You have been asleep since November, said Frog. Well then, said Toad, a little more sleep would not hurt me. Come back again and wake me up about past May. Good night, Frog. Dang, that's crazy. But Toad, said Frog, I will be lonely until then. I loved Frog and Toad. Oh my gosh, we're goofing off way too much. Okay, hold up. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm gonna skip. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make this live stream pretty short, and then we'll actually jump into doing something in the next live stream. This live stream is gonna be more of just voice practicing for some stuff. Actually, hold up. Yeah, that's right. So, I'm going to use my deep voice completely. Here we go.
So, let us continue the story. One day in summer, Frog was not feeling well. Toad said, Frog, you are looking quite green. But I always look green, said Frog. I am a frog. Today, you look
God, sorry, I love just goofing off. Today you look very green for a frog, said Toad.
Get into my bed and rest.
Okay, sorry.
Toad made Frog a cup of hot tea. Frog drank the tea, and then he said, Tell me a story while I am resting. All right, said Toad. Let me think of a story to tell you. Toad thought and thought, but he could not think of a story to tell Frog. I will go out on the front porch and walk up and down, said Toad. Perhaps that will help me think of a story. Toad walked up and down and on the porch for a while, but he could not think of a story to tell Frog. Then Toad went into the house and stood on his head. "Why are you standing on your head?" asked Frog. "I hope that if I stand on my head, it would help me think of a story," said Toad. Toad stood on his head for a long time, but he could not think of a story to tell Frog. Then Toad poured a glass of water over his head. "Why are you pouring water over your head?" asked Frog. "Well, I hope that if I pour water over my head, it will help me think of a story," said Toad. Toad poured many glasses of water over his head, but he could not think of a story to tell Frog. "Oh, wow, Toad, you crazy son of a bitch. You crazy friend. I love you." Then Toad began to bang his head against the wall. "Why are you banging your..."
God dang, I love Toad. He's so funny.
"Why? So why?"
Oh man, I'll keep laughing. Sorry. "Why are you banging your head against the wall?" asked Frog. "I hope that if I bang my head against the wall hard enough, it will help me think of a story," said Toad. "I'm feeling much better now, Toad," said Frog. "I do not think I need a story anymore. Then you can get me out of bed and let me get into it."
Why is it said in such connotation? It's very interesting. In this picture, it makes it look like they're, and oh wow. Let's not go there,"
said Toad. "Because now I feel terrible." Frog said, "Would you like me to tell you a story, Toad?" "Yes," said Toad, "if you know one." "Once upon a time," said Frog, "there were two good friends, a frog and a toad. The frog was not feeling well. He asked his friend, the toad, to tell him a story." God. The toad could not think of a story. He walked up and down on the porch, but he could not think of a story. He stood on his head, but he could not think of a story. He poured water over his head, but he could not think of a story. He banged his head against the wall, but he could not think of a story. Then the toad did not feel so well, and the frog was feeling better. So the toad went into bed, and the frog got up and told him a story. The end. "How was that, Toad?" said Frog.
but Toad did not answer. He had fallen asleep.
And they spelled that wrong. Asli everyone.
A lost button.
Okay, so this is actually what the story ends for this part. Alright guys, that's a good warm-up. Sorry, this live stream is a bit short. But honestly, all I'm doing for this live stream is essentially just practicing some voice acting and some voice narration for
Some upcoming things, I have to say, is a bit much at times, but it's all part of the process. And I know it sounds a bit complicated, but it's actually kind of straightforward. It's just that I need this practice because it's very serious and I just can't catch a break at times. But yeah, this story is a bit short and this live stream is as well. So, without further ado, I am the Kumo Sensei and hmm, lets me think. And I guess that's it for a live stream for today. I know it's a bit short, but thanks for watching this short one. And until next time, see ya.